Freedom, free will. Do we have free will? Or is everything we do determined by forces around us or within us? The problem of free will in philosophy has been considered for some time. Not going back thousands of years, but at least a few hundred. There are those who posed the problem in the simplest possible way, as I just did. Do we have freedom of choice? Do we have free will to make those choices? But once you start thinking about that question, it becomes a problem. What exactly do you mean by freedom of choice, and will? What kind of a problem? Well, there are those that think that we don't have freedom because we can't go around doing whatever we want to do and get away with it. They think of freedom, or the free will issue, as a matter of no consequences for our actions. I'm not free to rob a bank. Well, that's not the way in which it's pursued in philosophical inquiry. No, that's freedom from consequences. We're looking at the freedom to make the choice to rob the bank or not. Are you free to do that? And a lot of people would think, yeah, I'm free to do that. I could go in there and attempt to rob the bank, but I'm likely to be caught at some point or another and have to pay the price, which I don't want to do, so I'm not going to attempt to rob the bank, as much as I might like free money. So we're not talking about freedom from consequences. We're talking about freedom to do something, to make a choice. Not the freedom to fly by flapping our arms. No, we don't have that capacity. But the freedom to make a choice among alternatives. Does that freedom exist? If we have a series of options, are we free to choose amongst those options? Or are there really no options? And all we do is to act depending upon what we experienced prior and those forces that are directing our actions. Could our actions have been otherwise? If the answer is yes, then we had the freedom to have chosen to do other than what we did. If they couldn't have been otherwise, if everything is determined through something like the physical laws of the universe, then we too have no freedom. As a billiard ball on a table is knocked around by the forces of the other billiard boards colliding with it, gravity and other laws of motion, we are essentially no different. That is the problem of free will. With that problem, there are three choices, at least, three traditions that have come down to us. One that maintains that we have free will, one that says we have none, that we are totally determined. The hardest form of this determinism says that we are, like other physical objects, simply going to be acting according to the laws of the physical universe, which include the laws of the physical brain that govern human behavior. And whatever it is that we've experienced, we've inherited in our genetic makeup, in our cultural makeup, the means, our conditioning through interacting with those around us from the time of our birth, those all will lead to the appearance that I have several options, but the option that I do exercise will be the only one I ever could have, with the others merely being an illusion. That's hard determinism, and it's based on a lot of information we are gaining from the sciences, from neuroscience as well as psychological sciences, that are telling us that we are making our actions as the result of brain processes that are occurring faster and quicker than even we can think about them. And they are controlled by, influenced by the consequences of our prior behaviors, prior interactions, and physical makeup. There's a third position, it's called soft determinism or compatibilism, that although we have these forces that determine our actions, we can at least say that we have free will as long as those forces that are determining our actions are internal to us and not external. That we acted as we did without external constraints. No one had a knife to our throat or a gun to our head. We decided according to the goals, aims, purposes, values, the things we wanted to realize, which are inside of us, the results of our prior experiences. So the problem of free will is the problem of deciding which of those positions is the one best maintained by all the evidence and reasoning that we have at our disposal, considering what the consequences are of maintaining one or another of those three positions.